Rounding out this three-part series regarding the most common problems to be found in piano playing, I'd like to talk in this third segment about another code word that has caused innumerable misunderstandings and problems. And that word, of course, is relaxation. If you've ever taken lessons or been instructed in piano, you'll of course have heard that term bounced around many times. The idea that you need to be completely relaxed when you're playing. On the face of it, it seems to make sense, but if we dig a little deeper, we'll find that this causes problems because there's a inherent contradiction. Now, what do we mean? First of all, let's dispel the notion that you can be completely relaxed at the piano. Completely relaxed would be where you're like this, falling off the keys, and that, of course, is unworkable, untenable. Nobody can play like that. So complete relaxation is misleading, and yet I've known countless teachers and books, texts that advocate that, precisely that. Well, the proof falls upon the playing, upon the results. Okay, so complete relaxation, let's just dispel that quickly here as unworkable. Secondly, if you can consult a basic anatomical guide or text, you'll realize that not even the piano, not the instrument, but our muscles, at least the ones that play the piano, all right? And we'll talk about just two here. In the fingers are located muscles that cause the hands to contract and ones to extend. So flexors are the ones that will close the fingers towards the palm, and extensors are the ones that will open the fingers away from the palm. These are referred to as complementary pairs or antagonistic muscles. That is to say that one contracts when the other extends, and vice versa. So when we talk about the term of relaxation, you'll realize that if one set of muscles is contracting while the other is extending, which set of muscles are we referring to be relaxed in playing? You see, so point being that both sets of muscles cannot be relaxed at the same time. It is a fundamental impossibility. Okay, so that reveals a innate contradiction in the definition as applied to physiological principles. The human body cannot relax both sets, antagonistic muscles, complementary pairs of muscles at the same time. It's a physical impossibility. And so no wonder it brings in a lot of confusion, because it's an unworkable proposition. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Muscles work in pairs, and they're referred to as antagonistic, which means that they go against. One set of muscles, which will close the hand, needs to be working against the other set, which is extending. So there's contraction and extension, but the muscles work against each other. And it's not possible to relax all muscles at the same time. Okay, so I hope that dispels that false notion. What we should mean by relaxation, therefore, involves, well, let me put it like this. Good technique should promote open joints. Now, here's a little tidbit for you that I'm sure you've probably never heard in your lessons. So, during the course of your lessons, has anyone ever bothered to point out how many joints we have, in fact, to work with at the piano? So in other words, from the tip of the finger to the top of the shoulder, how many joints, movable parts, do we have to work with? Well, it's very simple. So you have the first finger joint, second finger joint, third finger joint here at the knuckle, fourth will be the wrist, fifth will be the elbow, sixth will be the shoulder. 6 joints, movable joints to work with. Why is this important or relevant? Well, it helps to be aware of the playing apparatus, to be aware of what we have to work with. That way, if you're aware of it, you can gauge it. And if you can gauge it, you can control it, improve it. And so the idea I would propose to you is that good technique promotes open joints. That means that a fundamental principle of piano playing is that we need to keep the joints moving. Recall in a previous segment we discussed the fact that the human body is such that it doesn't like to be fixed in a locked position. You know, those old classroom punishment techniques where you needed to hold a chair immobile in the corner for an extended period of time? They hit upon something. Cruelty aside, but they hit upon the fact that the body resists being locked in a position. And so the point about the 6 joints is that we need to promote open joints. And how do we do that? Very simple. By making sure that in our playing we are moving all the joints, however slightly, but that we do keep everything moving. This is how we stave off rigidity and tension. So, to sum up in this discussion, the point is that instead of relaxation while playing, which I hope we've revealed as an inherent contradiction, becomes meaningless when you just dig a little bit beneath the surface. The source of good technique is keeping the joints open, and that means keeping them moving a little bit. And the number 6 allows us, it's a finite number, not too big, not 20, not 50, separate components to keep in mind, but 6 joints, which in our practice, in our playing, we need to heighten our awareness and make sure that we are, in fact, keeping all joints moving. This is the workable definition of playing piano. Alright, so I hope that clarifies what we're after. Good technique promotes open joints, and that works rather than this idea of being completely relaxed at the keyboard.